Hi, I'm Bob.
And I'm Carey.
And we're with the Brennaman Group. And today we're excited to give you guys a tour of Ansonborough, which is the original developed neighborhood on the Charleston Peninsula. It's named after Captain George Anson, who was semi-famous for chasing pirates off the South Carolina coast. And as the story goes, George Anson won the money to pay for this land we're standing on today playing cards.
He actually used some of the money that he won to buy the land for 300 pounds sterling in 1726. And it sat just outside the walled city, and it was used as his plantation. And then about 20 years after he bought it, 1745, 1746, he actually had the tract of land laid out into streets and lots and basically formed it into a neighborhood. It was just Bowling Green Plantation at the time, but then eventually they were able to incorporate 3 other sections of town, Rettsbury, Middlesex, and Lawrence Square, and they all came together to form what is now known as Ansonborough. It is bounded between Calhoun Street over to King Street to Market Street on the south side of town, and then all the way east to the Cooper River.
All right, y'all, so we have strolled over from Theodore Park, just across the street, to the Gaillard. And the Gaillard was built originally in 1968. It was named after the progressive Charleston mayor at the time, Palmer Gaillard.
And it just recently went through a $142 million renovation. They've renamed it the Gaillard Center because it also houses the city offices. So it does include still an 1,800-seat concert hall, but most of the city offices are held here as well.
All right, guys, so we are walking in front of 14 George Street, which was built in the 1790s by Frances Mott Middleton.
Frances Mott Middleton lived here from 1801 to 1825 with her husband, Major General Thomas Pinckney. Eventually, the city acquired the property, and today it is actually home of the Spoleto Festival. The Spoleto Festival was formed in 1977 just as a cultural addition to our city. So for the last week in May and the first week in June, this whole city is covered with art, anywhere from opera to ballet, plays, comedy, you name it. And it's just a great week to visit Charleston. So if you're ever here and you want to see anything that is culturally significant, Spoleto is the time to come.
Also, we have made our way down to 82 Anson Street, also known as the Josiah Smith House, and it was built in 1799 for Josiah Smith's Spencer daughter. It remained in the Smith family until 1869.
It's kind of interesting because the house was actually moved in the 1960s to make space for the construction of the Gaillard when the Gaillard was built, and this would be a really good example of my dream house.
We are walking in front of the Colonel William Rhett House at 54 Hazel Street. It was built just outside the walled city and was built in 1712, which makes it one of the oldest structures in Charleston.
It was actually part of Point Plantation, which was in Rettsbury. And Colonel William Rhett kind of was an interesting fellow. He had a lot of different jobs. He was a surveyor, colonel for the South Carolina militia. He served on the General Assembly, and the list goes on and on. But his biggest claim to fame was that he had sent a flotilla to basically man the waters of the Carolinas in order to protect the Carolinas from pirates.
All right, guys, so we're making our way further down Hazel Street. We are standing in front of 95 Hazel Street, which is St. Mary's Roman Catholic Church. It was built in 1839 and is the third church that's set on this site.
The church itself established in 1791. Before that, Catholics actually had to worship privately. They weren't allowed to worship publicly. But then in 1791, when this congregation was formed, being one of the oldest, if not the oldest, Catholic congregation in the South, then they were able to worship openly.
So we're inside the churchyard at 90 Hazel Street. It's a Jewish synagogue that was built in 1849, and people have been worshiping here actually since it was incorporated since 1739.
And this actually is called the Kahal Kadash Beth Elohim Synagogue, and it's actually one of the oldest synagogues in the United States. This building it's kind of interesting. They don't actually know who designed it, but several prominent Charleston Jewish architects submitted plans to the New York architect Cyrus Warner. And so he was able to take whichever plans he selected, no one knows actually whose plans he selected, and design the building. And so it's a great building, and it's, like I said, one of the oldest synagogues in the country.
All right, guys, so we are on 55 Society Street, standing out in front of the known as the High School of Charleston. It was built in 1839, designed by prominent architect E.B. White, not to be confused with the author of Charlotte's Web, E.B. White.
They had built the high school in response to a call for improvements in the city's educational system by Christopher Memminger. And so this was actually the high school until 1881, when the actual location of the high school was moved. And today it is a very, very nice apartment building.
So we're back on Anson Street. We're walking in front of 72 Anson Street, one of the larger houses in Ansonborough. It was built after the fire of 1838 and is one of my favorite styles of architecture, which is Greek Revival.
So right here we are in front of St. Stephen's Episcopal Church, and this church was built as a free church, if you will, the first free church in Charleston, because before that, pews, you had to actually pay to have a seat in church. You paid for your pew. Well, the Ladies Benevolent Society decided that they wanted to help out those who couldn't afford pews or seats in church, and so they formed this church, St. Stephen's Episcopal Church.
All right, guys, so we have walked up from the neighborhood of Ansonborough up here to the South Carolina Aquarium, which borders the Ansonborough neighborhood. And the South Carolina Aquarium was opened in May of 2000. It has over 10,000 species of plants, animals, and fish. It's about 93,000 square feet of space. And it was a place that when my sons were younger, we spent a lot of time here. I think it challenges the mind and gets them thinking, and it's just a beautiful place to check out.
Yeah, my girls still love it. We still come here, especially in the summer. It's a quite cool place to come to. But also, what I love about this area is you have this gorgeous vista of the Cooper River, and you can actually see the Charleston Harbor. This is where you pick up the boats to go out to Fort Sumter, which is a great fun tour. And Fort Sumter, of course, was where the first shots of the Civil War were fired, or the war between the states, rather. So it's just a great place. It's just a beautiful part of the city.
Down from here along the water is the Charleston Art Institute. To our right is the College of Charleston, has a building as well. And it's, you know, it's a place that's going to see a lot of redevelopment, has seen a lot of redevelopment over the last 4 or 5 years, and it's going to see more because there's a lot of land down here. It sits, again, on picturesque Charleston Harbor.
Okay, Bob, so I'm going to have to cut out because I have a closing.
All right, well, thanks for coming down, Carey.
It's okay, see you later.
All right, guys, as Carey heads off to a closing, we are going to head to Hank's Seafood Restaurant and do a little cooking with the executive chef.
We're going to do a fried green tomato tuna appetizers. Got a little southern twist. We put fried pork rinds, blue cheese, and a barbecue roasted red pepper vinaigrette on it. And it's very delicious.
I'm very excited to be here today with Tim Richardson. He is the executive chef here at Hank's in downtown Charleston. You've got the fried green tomatoes here, which are a southern staple. You're going to kind of show us how you do it.
Yes, we do. So we're very basic breading. We start with a little seasoned flour and then put it into an egg wash and then a panko with Japanese breadcrumbs. Anytime you're frying anything, this is pretty much a basic way to go, flour, egg wash into whatever mix you want to go into.
Fried green tomatoes have really, they're pretty much a staple pretty much every menu, it seems like, these days.
It's very popular, definitely in the South. I've always loved them, fried green tomato BLTs, or we do a little green tomato fried oyster appetizer with a sweet corn vinaigrette, and yeah, it's definitely a staple, I think, in the South. We're going to deep fry them, and then we're going to put some pork rinds down too. These are rendered pork skins, and they'll pop up. There's nothing like good old fresh pork rinds. You know, we use different farmers. We use Blackbird Farms. We use Grow Food Carolina. We'll also use for seafood. You know, we'll get stuff from Clamor Dave, and we got
Clamor Dave, man.
Clamor Dave. We got loads of great local farmers around here and fishermen.
Yeah, the food scene in Charleston in 15 years has just changed a lot.
And there's hundreds and hundreds of restaurants, and they're great. You know, there's tons of great restaurants.
So these are browning up really nice.
I'm going to cover them up just to keep them all the way submerged in the fryer.
There you go.
These are the pork rinds.
What are some of your other southern staples that you really like?
Collard greens, Brussels sprouts, macaroni and cheese, casseroles. I love casseroles. Like there's, I mean, you can do 50,000 different kinds of casseroles. And butter beans. I love all kinds of beans, black-eyed peas, you know.
It's a pretty big kitchen. You said y'all roll some plates through here over the night.
Yes, sir. We'll do over, I mean, sometimes it's 300, and on weekends we can do upwards of 500 covers. And we turn out lots of happy guests, for sure.
Oh yeah, look at that. It's puffing up nicely.
Puffing up nice. The nice thing about these is that you can sit there and hear them crackle and pop as you're eating them. And these pork rinds, we season them a little bit, like a little blackening spice on them.
Oh yeah, those look awesome. Those look great.
Green tomatoes. Take these down here and we'll start searing the tuna.
All right, so the tuna, you got this beautiful, nice.
Yes, it depends where. This is probably from, I think it came from Florida. So, you know, still local. So we just season with a little salt. There's a little bit of white pepper mixed in there.
Into your seasoning?
Into the seasoning mix. Now we're gonna get the pan hot.
So how many saute pans can you get cooking at one time without burning something?
I don't know, probably 8, 9. There's just canola oil.
Cast iron skillets.
Cast iron. These are original. These are like the best pans I've ever used. We've used these since I've been here.
So Hanks has been open since '99.
Since '99. We've been voted best seafood since we opened for 15 years running. We'll take it and you'll sear each side for about 15 seconds, 10 or 15 seconds.
So you're going to do this to like a rare?
You do it to a rare.
So what are some of your favorite types of fish to cook? Or seafood?
I love triggerfish, black sea bass is local around here. It's really good. For our local bounty, we get wreckfish. I love clams. The clams here are fantastic.
So you took that and you basically seared it on all sides.
Seared it off. Now we'll take and slice it in little thin strips. People like it. We get good feedback. I used to run it as like a little seasonal salad to try it out, and then it turned out to be a good little dish. So this is the barbecue. It's got some scallions in it. It's barbecue red pepper vinaigrette. So trying to keep that southern style going. Fried green tomatoes. So we just put a little petite arugula salad down, and then the nice tuna. Also a little blue cheese added to it, and we'll add the pork rind for a nice crisp.
Yeah, that looks great. There you got some forks.
Yeah. Hopefully one day this will be the Southern classic.
When you put pork rinds and fried green tomatoes with blue cheese, you're heading in the right direction.
Yeah. Hopefully it's good.
Oh man, I'm like.
Wait for the crunch.
That's on time. Oh, that salad there. That's awesome. Y'all have to come down and try this. All right, Tim. Appreciate you giving us your time, man. I know that you're very busy, and we certainly appreciate you giving us the opportunity to come down here and see what you do.
Anytime, man. Come join us. It was a pleasure.
Hanks is on Haines Street,
Right,
right?
Haines, corner of Church and Haines.
Corner of Church and Haines, and hope you guys enjoyed this, and definitely come down and try Hanks when you come to Charleston, or if you live here, be sure to come down and check out what they do. I'm gonna eat a little more.
It's awesome.